Kajiado TV. Enangena. Hii ni yetu.
Okay, my name is Lucy Mueni. I come from Loitoktok, a place called Recurrence. I'm 27 years old and I've been paraplegic for the past 2 years. 2019 May is when I started using walking frames. I could no longer support myself using a clutch. It started back in 2007. Back in 2006, I was in class 7 by then. I fell when mopping the floor. Back then, I used to think maybe it was me falling that led to my paralysis, but it wasn't. So in 2007, I started dragging my left leg. It started slow, a little. You drag the leg, you unategwa na mawe, you fall, you know. So I started going to the hospitals. You know a hospital, huh? You go there, unambwa, there's nothing wrong. Maybe it's the tissues on the back when you fell, but then that was not the reason. So the situation escalated until it hit the right leg and I could no longer walk. I was 13 by then, so I was referred to Kenyatta, where they did an MRI and found out that I had a tumor on my spine. They did a major surgery, removed the tumor, and it took me 2 months, and I started walking again with a single clutch. Sat for my KCPE exams. Nilikuwa nasomea Joijoma Academy. I finished class 8, went to high school. Actually, I passed, despite the whole year being in the hospital and all that. I went to Moi Girls Isinya. Form 1, Form 2 was okay. I used a belt. It's called a thoracolumbar. Right now I have it on. It supports the back after the surgery because I couldn't sit for long. And in order not to hurt the back, unavaa the belt. So for those years, I've been in the thoracolumbar belt. Kufika Form 3, the back issue started again. I couldn't sit for long. So when I went back to the hospital, nikaambiwa I'm overexerting my back. I shouldn't sit for more than 2 hours. So 2 hours ikisha, I will stand, walk around, and the pains will disappear. I've been okay. I got a B+ by the way. Finished. Then I went to Maseno University where I studied hydrology and water resources management with IT. Finished in 2016 and life was good, you know. I had forgotten I even had surgery done. I was no longer using the belt. When I walked, you couldn't know I was paralyzed at some time in my life. In 2017, I started having muscle pulls in my ribs. It's crazy. Imagine ukishikwa na muscle pull on your ribs. It's painful, really painful. Then rib pains, and then I ignored it, you know. Naambia mom, nasikia naumwa na mbavu, anakuuliza kwani umegongwa. You know how we Africans are, we assume things. When you go to the hospital, naambiwa unajiachia baridi, pneumonia and all that. Little did I know it was the start of problems again. The pains started escalating. Then I started dragging the left leg. Then you see, I'm like, no God, no. I don't want this to be a repeat of the 2007 thing because let's be real here. In 2018, I was old, you know. I was mature. I'm supposed to be looking for a job. I'm supposed to be supporting myself. And then I'm comparing myself to the little me. I was 13 in 2007. So I'm like, back then I didn't have any worries. My worries were books. Nitasoma saa ngapi, nataka kupita exam. But then here, it's real life, you know. I wanted to face the world. I had so many dreams. So the left leg started. And then I hid it from my parents. Didn't want them to know. It started by me dragging the same left leg. Little by little, I would trip and fall. I have so many scars on my knees from the falling. So one day, mom realized I'm losing my balance. Ningesimama and then naanza kurudi kinyuma. So she asked me, what's up? And I'm like, Mom, I'm not okay. And that's when I started going to the hospital. So I remember it was in 2018, in November. I went to Mombasa at a hospital called Jocham. They did an MRI. No, first I met a neurologist who said, and I quote his words, he was like, there must be some compression on your spine. So maybe the tumor has recurred. But I can't be the judge of that unless you go to a neurosurgeon who will then send you to get an MRI. I went to get an MRI at Jocham, and I met a doctor in Mombasa, the Aga Khan Hospital. checked the MRIs, and he concluded there's nothing wrong with me. So can you imagine you're dragging your leg, you're having rib pains and back pains, then the doctor tells you there's nothing wrong with you. You know, it's scary. He gave me some drugs, told me to go home, take them for 2 weeks. If I don't get better, then he's going to do some surgery, because he was saying maybe there's a problem with my lower spine, but he wasn't sure that is what was causing the weakening of the limbs. Went home, finished the drugs, and then it worsened actually. I didn't get better. So when I went back, he did a lumbar puncture. Lumbar puncture, they removed the fluid from the spine. Took it to the lab, tested for cancer, tested for so many things. They all came back negative. I was okay. Going back to that moment, I was crushed. The minute the person you've put all your hope to tells you there's nothing he can do. He actually told me, Lucy, ungekuwa mzee, tungeelewa, but you're young. So I can't really tell what's happening, because the only thing I can see on the MRIs is the scar from your previous surgery, but there's nothing wrong with you. You know what I did? I went back home. And I was so angry at God. No, that's the first person you're angry at. Told God, then why did you give me the opportunity to study, finish school? Si ungenimalizianga tu nikiwa class 8 na hii story ingekuwa imeisha. Ama better yet, hata singepona. You know, kama ningekuwa na wheelchair since 2007, it would be understandable. But then I've tested life. I've tested what it means to travel, what it means to have fun, you know. Then it's all taken away from you. I was so devastated. But then I couldn't walk. The right leg was also affected. So I started using a walking frame. I had lost hope. I was depressed. I was alone. I couldn't talk to anyone. Actually, none of my friends knew what I was going through. I just kept it to myself. So for the next 6 months, it was hell. You know, I was used to doing shit for myself. I couldn't. So one day, I had a I don't know what to call it, but I had what word do I use it? It's like an awakening. I realized that I'm dwelling too much on what is happening to me, that I don't know what's awaiting for me, because I couldn't keep on crying, keep on blaming God, keep on blaming myself for things I didn't do, you know, for things I can't control. So I told God, I actually came to an agreement with God. Nasemanga tuitane kamkutano. So me na God tukaongea. Told him, anipe 2 things, anipe peace and happiness, because I can't control. So I just told him, so umekata nitembe, fine. I'll use a walking frame for life if that's what you want, but don't make me sad. Apana, let me not stress about it. Let it just be something normal. Let me accept myself. And accepting myself, I did. So in 2019, 2020, I accepted myself. I was always home. I was just there. Hakuna mali nimeenda for those 2 years. I was there with mom, nikikataka kitu mom nipatie maji, you know. If I need something done for me, I can't do it on my own. I was thinking of maybe starting a job for myself, because I couldn't apply for jobs. You know, parents, hawezi kubali utoke hapo when you can't work. Utaenda kuishi aje peke yako, you know. But then I was too comfortable in that zone, way too comfortable, that I didn't realize I'm worsening. You see, I could take walks around the compound. But then walks zikaanza kupungua. I started getting worse. Natembea kidogo nasikia nimechoka, you know. And then the pains started again. The rib pains and the muscle pulls. Nikiwa tu nyumbani, and that is in 2020. That was immediately after my birthday. I don't know what God's plan was. Imagine on your birthday, and that is when you're getting worse. Actually, I fell. Nilienda kusimama, walked a little, and I fell on my birthday, you know. It was crazy. So I decided, apana. I told my brother, I'm not okay. And if we continue like this, I don't know what's awaiting me. Because yes, now I can walk with the walking frame, but what if I can no longer walk with the walking frame? What will I do? And that's when I remembered Dr. Wanyoike. I had been told by the doctor in Mombasa, Dr. Kanga, to come see Dr. Wanyoike. But I was so frustrated, I was not thinking straight, you know? And someone that gives you such a blow, you don't think, you just act. So I booked a consultation with Dr. Wanyoike, and I told God, I hope this is the chance you're giving me to walk again. Because man, I miss walking. I'm a very active person. I don't stay in one place. Came, met Dr. Onyeke on 1st of April this year. He checked the same MRIs that I took at Georgetown. And you know, he didn't even take 30 minutes and he saw where the problem is. And I was like, hey God, kumbe you work in miraculous ways. You know, sometimes we doubt God, but he's always in control, always. He's always there, not watching, and he's like, anytime nani doubt and I'm here, you know, ni lazy to gonga. So Dr. Onyeke saw the problem. He was like, during the other surgery, the tumor was inside the cerebrospinal fluid. Ile fluid inakuanga kwa spine. So to access the tumor, alitoa around 2.5 discs. Then he assessed the tumor, took the tumor out, na akafunga. So you see the fluid was left vulnerable. It was left iko tu hapo. And this fluid is what is used for communication between the brain and the other parts of the body. And this level is where the nervous system of the legs is concentrated. So over time, this scar, you see the wound healed. And when a wound heals, it leaves a scar. So this scar has been pressing on the cerebrospinal fluid for all these years without my knowledge. So see, over time I've been playing, I've been dancing, I've been walking, I've been exerting so much pressure on the spine. I was so happy. I was like, now what can we do? And then you see doctors give you opinions. So this is what he told me. We can decide to do surgery, but I can't promise you how long it will take for you to walk again. You see, kwanza nakupeanga the good news. I can't promise you how long it's going to take to walk, because this is the nervous system, a very unpredictable system. I don't know how much pressure was exerted there. I don't know how much damage the nerves have undergone. But then he told me, what if we decide to leave you like you are? You know, you can decide, because you don't know if I'll ever walk again and I'm comfortable. Let me remain like this. So the bad news was, if we don't do surgery, you're going to get worse. You will basically be bedridden, and I wouldn't feel. You know, at least I was feeling. When I'm pressed, if I want to go for a long or a short call, I would feel. So he was telling me in a couple of months, then the body will shut down. You won't feel at all. I decided to go for the surgery, because when you're given hope, then you grab on it, you know. So he told me, it's okay, I'll do the surgery on you, and this is what I'll do. I'll put screws where the discs were, because he can't add any disc. He'll put screws where the discs were, ataeka pipe to allow the movement of the cerebrospinal fluid. And then hii pipe atashikanisha na screws. Alikuwa anaita screw fusion. So that hiyo nini haitaguzwa tena, such that after the surgery, the spine will always be protected no matter what. So I came, he asked for some money. He asked for 400 to be deposited in the account for me to be admitted. It's a private hospital, you understand? So we went back home, tukachanga, tukajikamua yote, got the 400k, deposited it, and I was admitted. So I was admitted on 22nd of April. On 24th, I was taken to the theater for surgery. They knew it will take around 6 hours to do all that, remove the scar, put the screws and whatever, and I'll be okay. But you know what? The devil has a way of twisting things. When I went to the theater, when they were in the middle of the surgery, they realized I had another tumor on my spine. It was right below the scar. That is why it couldn't be seen. And the tumor was they say it's 3 centimeters long. It's a meningioma tumor, and it was hard as stone. It means the nervous system ilikuwa imelaliwa completely. So they had to remove the tumor. Removed it. A 6-hour surgery took 10 hours. They removed the scar too. They put the screws and all that. Na wakanishona. Then they took me to the ICU for 24 hours. I woke up. The first thing I asked was, so they did it? Like, yeah, they did it, you know. I was like, thank God, now it's up to you, you know. It's up to you, God, to help me walk again, because I really miss that. Right now, I'm getting better. I can move a little. The feeling has not yet returned to my lower limbs, but hopefully it will. They say patience is key, and I'm praying to God to give me that patience. Yeah, because the billing is way too high. See, starting from the surgery, starting from the medical care, from the drugs, everything. Right now we are at 2.5 M. You see, they say money can, unaweza tafuta pesa, sindio? But health is more important. So I'm urging you, my people, because I'm your girl, I'm your daughter, I'm your sister. I need your help. Whichever amount, because we really need to clear this bill. Come on, help me walk again. I miss the walking. I really miss that. And you see, I'm a hydrologist. Huh? I need to walk. Hydrologists, we walk. We do a lot of mapping and all that. We can't do that seated. As we also really need prayers, because this is the time we need God to intervene. We can't do it on our own. There is a pay bill which is already out. I really appreciate that. Na Mungu atawabariki sana.
So hapo kama mtu kama Lucy niko na matumaini atatembea siku moja. Nilishamwambia alikuwa patience na effort na imani itamsaidia atatembea.